And reason unto itself is a death spiral for a civilization, because eventually you start reasoning your way into really, really bad decisions. You need revelation. You need what I believe the Ten Commandments, the teachings of the Bible, to almost rein in the worst impulses of reason. But revelation alone is not enough. If you only have revelation, then you don't have the West. If you don't have revelation, you don't have technological advancements. You don't have some of the most amazing medical advancements. We don't have the prosperity or the material wealth that we enjoy in the West that has largely pushed back against the dire guise of poverty we've seen across the planet. So this balance between the two is critically important. And so as we start to see many in the younger generation say, I have no religious affiliation, they're actually lying to you. They're saying that they have no traditional religious affiliation. Something is their God. They are worshiping something. And to worship is what you are aiming at. That's why I think you should aim at Jesus. What better way to aim your entire life at someone who tells you to care for the poor and love your neighbor as yourself and defeated death? But if you say, well, I'm not religious, I just want to aim at whatever I want to aim at, ooh, be very careful. What does that mean? Does that mean you're going to be the God of the flesh, the God of trying to get as drunk as I possibly can? And just a little bit of a warning, that is a miserable way to live. You know plenty of people probably that are in that cycle, that endless downturn, that down spiral of, I'm just going to do whatever the flesh tells me to do whenever I want to do it. Be very cautious with that. Instead, we believe a better way to live as conservatives and as Christians is one that we want to glorify God in everything that we do, in all that we do. And that includes, by the way, political matters. So you might be saying, Charlie, how does this inform your politics? Well, the Western tradition is what we are trying to fight for. The Western tradition is one that recognizes universal human equality. So think about how fundamental this is. You cannot get to this idea that all humans are created equal without a belief in a divine. If you just have reason and you believe in atheism, you cannot resolutely and objectively say that murder is wrong. You could say murder might hurt people, you could say murder might not feel good, but you can't say murder is wrong, because you have to eventually appeal to a moral standard above you. And so we see this playing out in so many different dimensions of the West. And my call to all of you that are Christians or center-right or conservatives, understand the consequences of where this leads. At first, it will just be wokeism and secularism. It will be the craziest ideas imaginable. Ideas, by the way, that thankfully we beat at the ballot box back in November when presented to the American people. Thankfully. However, it does not stop there. Because the woke movement, whatever it ends up calling itself in the future, it mimics religious maxims. It will have, whether it be the worship of nature or earth worshiping, or the cult of anti-racism, or this idea that the religion of scientism,